What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video from Pink Tourmaline. And this is another really cool NDE I stumbled upon. It just came out a couple days ago. And this is Shauna Ristic, and she talks about her near-death experience here, in particular in this segment that I'm choosing, and how it relates to her figuring out her purpose, and actually all of our purposes in life. And so I want to share this clip because I think it hits a couple of different themes that I've talked about on this channel and that other NDEs talk about constantly. So we're going to play the clip and then we're going to chop it up and discuss the important bits that I want to focus on. So check this out. This is really cool.
The one thing I really remembered was that my purpose here was to help people remember who they are, wake up and remember who they are as these light beings in themselves that I saw in the eyes of my friend, and that I see in every single person I meet through their eyes, this bright lightness that they are, to remember that in themselves and to find their way back home.
So we're going to talk about this. So what does she mean by find their way back home? And I think she's going to go on. She goes on and more or less, I think, explains this, but I want to connect that back to the video that I made yesterday about Eckhart Tolle and this idea of challenges in life are basically means or vehicles to awaken us. And to awaken us in myriad ways, whether it's what she's talking about here, remember who we are as light beings, as spiritual beings. But I think also another part of that is in other videos as well, we talk about this idea of coming to earth to share our gifts. We have a gift. Everybody has a gift, however you want to think about it, as big, small, whatever it may be, right? We all have a gift, or we all have something that we've come in this life to work on and to share. And our one of our main objectives, if not the number one objective, as it seems to be, is to discover this and then share it. And I think that's what she's alluding to right here in terms of remembering who we are as light beings. Now, she's going to go on and actually right after this, subsequently, she's going to talk about her journey to discovering herself or figuring out her gift or what she's supposed to share on this planet. It's super cool. And we're going to talk about that after I play you this little excerpt. Check this out.
The truth of who they are, that this existence isn't all there is, that loving presence is the truth. So the journaling really helped me connect with the council and go through this period of time where I was really depressed and not sure how to even do this purpose and how to find my way. You know, I went into working thinking nursing was the route, and then that wasn't really right. And then I went into thinking maybe psychology was the route, but then that didn't really feel right. And then lo and behold, out of a bunch of chance serendipitous happenings, I met a massage therapist, and she offered to teach my partner at the time and I some massage techniques. When I met her, we had a really nice connection. So the second time I met her, I said, you know what? Why am I so miserable? I have this everything I'm supposed to want, right? We're supposed to want to have a car. We're supposed to want to further our lives in college. We're supposed to have a partner, and we're supposed to have housing. Got all that, and I'm miserable. Why? And she said, maybe you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I said, what am I supposed to be doing? And she said, well, maybe you should go check out this massage school. I was open to whatever. And I walked into the massage school. And the moment I walked in, something just opened in me and said, this is it. This is where you're supposed to be going. And so I began massage school, and I graduated massage school in about 2 years. While I'd be working with people, information just would come in. I would just know things about them. I would just know what was sticking in their lives, or know what needed to shift or change, or notice the perspective shift they needed, or something. And I didn't understand it. It just sort of downloaded. And sometimes they would be so insistent in my head that I would just have to say something, almost embarrassing.
Okay, so we're going to pause it here. That's what I wanted to focus on right there, because I can actually relate to this experience and this emotion very well. So she's saying all of a sudden she found this new career path. She tried nursing, she tried these different things, but then something clicked, something opened in her. My career path has been long and windy as well. I graduated from college with a degree in economics and computer science. Then I was a software engineer. Actually, I liked it a lot. Most of the things I've done in my life professionally, I've enjoyed it. But then after that, I went to law school, loved law school. Became a patent attorney. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I was fine with it. I was happy for the most part. I did feel like, though, that my intrinsic skills and abilities weren't being utilized. And in fact, I was being forced to tap into parts of me that didn't feel natural, like the combative nature of being a litigator, this idea of running depositions and trying to basically like get people to say things that kind of like they don't want to say, but you have to get it out of them. Like that whole dynamic and combative dynamic is just so not me. But anyways, and then it's like I figured out this new path of teaching and education, and boom, it was the same thing. It's like as soon as I discovered it, everything it just clicked, because it's like I no longer had to try and become this person or try and mold into that person, trying to be tougher, trying to be this or that. I could just be me. I could be myself with all my sensitivities, with all of my desires to want to like, you know what I mean? Have a connection with the families that I'm working with, and really work with them and really want to see them succeed. And I was just like, oh my God, now I just get to be me. And I think this is what she is alluding to here as well. She just got to be herself. And then things started coming through while she was doing that work that didn't come through before. And I think that's the indication that she had finally figured out her gift and was now sharing it. I can so relate, and it feels so good. And then it leads you down all these other paths. So in sum, I think the overall message and the overall takeaway from this is, yes, we are meant to recognize to some extent, and maybe it's different for everybody, right? It's to varying degrees, but recognize what this life is about. Hopefully I'm contributing to sharing that message and spreading the word, understanding that this is a chapter in a eternal life where we're working on certain things and trying to evolve. And then the heart of maximizing this chapter is figuring out that gift. And then once you figure it out, share it. And again, it's not about, I don't believe it's about making tons of money necessarily. It could be wrapped into that, but I don't think it has to do with that for sure. It doesn't have to be exclusively tied into financial abundance or anything like that, but finding that gift, sharing it, whether you're doing community work, whether you're just spending time with family or loved ones, or whatever it may be, whatever that strength, that special knack is you have, find it and give it away, right? Ties back to that same beautiful message that we've heard before in other NDEs. So there it is. That's what I want to share with you guys today. Beautiful message, beautiful overall takeaway from this NDE. Watch it in its entirety if you want to, because I think it's phenomenal, and I think she's great as well. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.